In today's FX markets, let's take a look at the Australian dollar as it's realizing some higher price action today. The Australian dollar is one of the best performing major currency futures markets today, up over 0.5%, and coming off those lows from yesterday and intraday today, which correspond with 2+ year lows, just over 2-year lows. And the futures market right now, September, 0.678, which is the top end of the range for today's trading action. And I think when you look at some of the factors contributing to a little bit of this bounce here, a couple things. Number one, overnight, we did see the dollar push up to 20-year plus highs, which is 108.4, and then a reversal as we move through the end of the second half of the session and back down below 108, 107.7. And with that, we're seeing most of the major currency futures markets benefiting from that reversal, and we're seeing them shifting higher. Canadian dollar basically flat, but the other major currency futures markets pretty much across the board are higher on the session, with the Australian dollar and the Japanese yen realizing the most upside here so far. And also, I think another dynamic with some of the volatility we saw in the equity markets yesterday from a global perspective, selling pressure, I think that helped push the U.S. dollar into that safe haven type of mentality, some tailwind to some of the price action there. And we're seeing some, at least for now, stabilization in the U.S. equity markets midday here. And I think that's benefiting some of the general trends that the market had been realizing here for the last week or two. Now, when you look at another thing, I think a lot of market participants and traders alike are eyeballing, certainly the inflation data that would be coming out here in the coming days in the U.S., I think are another factor as to why we're seeing maybe a little bit of adjustments of positioning as we have experienced, some pretty significant selling pressure in most of these major currency futures markets here over the past couple of weeks. And so I think that's also having an impact here today. Now, when you look at the general trends, the euro overnight did basically touch parity with the dollar intra-session. Now we're seeing it bounce off that and a little bit higher, but still basically just slightly above parity with the dollar. So I know a lot of market participants have been keeping an eye on that. And also when you look at the general trends, we are seeing, again, as I mentioned today at least, most of the major currency futures markets higher, with the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar benefiting the most, but also we're seeing the British pound, the euro all higher, and the Swiss franc all higher as well.